I know I want to grab the scissors. I'm about to cut these locks, but let me just take a step back and ask myself a few questions. Hey everyone, it's me, Desiree Marie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to speak to you all. You pretty much seen the title, but I want to speak to those of you who are thinking about cutting or combing out your locks. And I just want to kind of bring a prelude, speak this thing before we continue. I want to encourage my lock sisters and brothers to not judge someone else's lock journey or their decision to take down their locks. There are many of us who are tired of our locks. You know, there are different reasons why we're tired of them, why we're bored, why we just want to do something different. And we've been given full responsibility and control over our head of hair. And it is whatever we want to do with it. You know, I always kind of draw up the analogy of a plant, but it's the same thing as that. Like say, you know, it's your birthday and I decide to give you a plant for your birthday. Okay, now that you've been given that plant, guess what you have to do now? You have to take responsibility for that plant. You have to water it. You have to nurture it. You have to make sure that it is in the right placement for sunlight, or it is where it needs to be away from sunlight. You have to control the atmosphere and kind of guide the growth of that plant, right? Well, it's the same thing with us. God gave us a full set of hair, and it is basically our responsibility to nurture it and to do exactly what we want with it, as long as we're not harming anyone else. And of course you want to take into consideration your hair and the health of your hair, but pretty much he gave us full dominion over our crown of hair. But if you are watching this video and you are thinking about cutting your locks or combing your locks, I just want to ask you a few questions as you consider your final decision. And if you don't hear from anyone else, take it from me, I support you whatever you do. If you are deciding that you want to cut or comb out your locks, I just want to ask you a few questions as you consider that, and just something to think about. Why do you want to cut your locks? Why do you want to comb out your locks? And this is very important, even though not everything is all that deep. Sometimes our motivation for doing certain things, like changing our hair, is because of something else going on in our life. Some of us don't have a reason why we want to cut our locks, comb our locks. We just want to do it, you know, and that's fine. And then some of us may have motivations that go beyond just hair. Perhaps it's a family member that is constantly taunting you and telling you how
you need to do your hair. When are you going to comb out those twists, comb out those braids, comb out those coils? You look crazy. No one likes your hair.
Believe it or not, I've heard many stories of you all telling me that your family members and your friends are like constantly on you about your hair and how they just don't like it. They never did and they never will. So perhaps your reason for cutting out your hair, cutting out your locks and combing them out is because of those negative opinions that are coming against you. And you're thinking, wow, you know, maybe my hair is ugly. Maybe I just need to just do something different just to please everyone else. Perhaps your reason for cutting out your locks is because perhaps you want to start over. Perhaps you have had locks for a long time. I know some of you that watch me, you've had locks for way longer than I have, and I applaud you because that is amazing. That is an awesome accomplishment that you've stuck with locks, which is a commitment for so long. I give it up to you, sis. I give it up to you, bro. That's amazing. However, sometimes you just want to do something different, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want to communicate to you all, if you are thinking about cutting your locks or combing them out, that it is just fine. You should not feel guilty or filled with shame because you want to do something different with your hair. You should not feel any less than genuine, less than authentic. You are who you are, and your authenticity and your genuine nature is based on you and your decision to do exactly what feels right for you and your lifestyle. Are you bored? And if you're bored, that is perfectly fine. It is natural. It is natural for us human beings to get bored at some point in time. Some of us, we have a little bit of a different type of boredom levels. Some of us get bored very quickly. Some of us, we're quite fine doing the same thing for a long period of time. But those of us that like to change up our looks and do something different, and our hair is pretty much a reflection of our creativity and our personality. Some of you like to change it up and do different things. And so if you're feeling bored, perhaps you're feeling a little loaded down because you feel like, wow, like here I am, I'm locked, and now I'm pretty much bound to this decision, and I really want to discover my natural curls. I really want to comb my hair with an actual comb. I really want to experiment with conditioning my hair and relearning my hair curl pattern. I just want to ask, are you bored? And if you are bored, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Another question that I would like to ask for you to consider if you are thinking about combing out your locks is, what do you miss about your locks? Like really, think about when you first installed your locks, or you went to a loctician. You were so excited. You were so excited to get locks. Finally, you've been researching, you've been looking at other people, you've been scrolling on Instagram, YouTube, seeing all these beautiful lock beauties, and you decided to get locks, and you're ecstatic. What do you miss about that moment? Like, what was going through your mind at that moment in time? What were you thinking? Were you thinking, wow, I'm so excited to get locks because now I can finally grow my hair out in its most natural state? Were you excited because of the fact that locks can be low maintenance and it gave you more time to pursue your creative passions or spend time with your family? What excited you most about getting locks in the first place? And will you miss that, say, a year later? Will you regret the decision to take down your locks based on what you love or liked most about getting locks in the first place? You know, I know it's not all that deep, but sometimes you have to ask yourself, okay, you know I want to grab the scissors. I'm about to cut these locks. But let me just take a step back and ask myself a few questions, just so that I can do this with my head on and I'm not doing this out of like a quick reaction or something, or just like a high emotion that wears off after a while, and you then regret running after that decision so quickly. And you know, if you cut your locks and you regret them, that's fine. You know, hair is hair. Hair continues to grow, and you can continue doing exactly what you want with it. And if you decide that you want to lock your hair, you can do it all over again. There's absolutely nothing wrong with starting all over again. When I started my first set of locks, which I started with braids, I took them down a month later because of the fact that I didn't see my hair growing the way that I wanted it to grow with that particular starting technique with the braids. I took them out, but before I did that, I had to have a come to Jesus moment. Like, Desiree, okay, if you take down these locks, they were still braids, but they could have developed into a lock later on. If you take down these locks, will you regret this decision? But then I thought to myself, you know, it's only been a month, and yes, if I take down my hair now, I will have 1 month missing from where I could have been. But if I do take down my hair now and start them the way that I want them to be, I'll be in a much better place than holding on to 1 month and saying, oh, I met, you know, a year later, oh, I'm a year locked, instead of, oh, I'm only 11 months locked. It really doesn't matter. Time is time, and you can restart your hair if you choose to. And if you don't want to restart your locks and you want to, you know, learn your natural hair pattern and relearn it and love it all over again, that's just fine. I feel like me, when I started my locks, I started them because I was getting frustrated with my curl pattern, well, not my curl pattern, but with my hair, and I just didn't understand how to fully master my loose natural texture and learning how to do what I really want to do with them, which are the braid outs, twist outs, all of that stuff, in the best way possible. Like after years of having loose natural hair, I still didn't feel like I had a full hold or control over how my hair would look. I felt defeated. So that is one of the reasons why I decided to lock my hair. But you can always start all over again if that is you today and you feel like you really didn't learn your hair the way that you could have, and you just decided to do something sporadic such as locking your hair, and you stayed with that decision but now you're regretting it. You can do what you want with your hair. Do not allow anyone's negative opinions, negative reasonings, online or offline, cause you to do something that you deep inside of your heart don't want to do. And that can be having locks, that can be taking them down, that can be anything you want to do with your hair. It's your hair, and you can do what you want without guilt, without shame, without regrets. You can change it up, and you can keep changing it up as long as you want, because guess what? It is your head of hair that God gave you. He gave you dominion over your hair. So those are just the questions that I'd like to ask you before you actually decide to cut your hair. And I also wanted to just give my opinion that is filled with grace rather than condemnation, that if you decide that you want to take down your locks and not turn back, it is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Your hair is your responsibility, no one else's. No one else has to look in the mirror every day and see you. You see you, you live with you. Do what you love and what you know you want to do. You know, for example, I really want to color my hair, but the only reason why I have not done that just yet is because of the health. You know, I don't want my hair health to decline because of the color. So I am seeking out different ways that I can color my hair, maybe temporarily until I kind of maybe go in that direction. But you can do what you want to do. It's just fine. Let's stop putting each other in our boxes and what we think locks are supposed to be like. Locks are supposed to be fully natural, organic. You should not use any products. You should not retwist. Locks are what you want it to be. Your hair is what you want it to be. Love it, embrace it, and do you. Do you. I say that with the claps because I mean it very, very much. Do you. All right? So I hope that you enjoyed this video and you didn't take it the wrong way. Like I said, this is meant to spread grace rather than condemnation, which is so filled. You know, we see a lot of that in our community, and we really need to have more opinions and more voices that spread love and it's all right, rather than no, you should do this, this, and this, and that, or you are banned from this community. Let's not do that. All right, so thank you for watching this video. Please let me know your thoughts down below, and as usual, hopefully you subscribe hopefully you stay subscribed after this video. Sorry about the lighting changes. It's changing a lot outside, but I hope that you still love me. Okay, I hope that we still have a love relationship going on and that you continue enjoying. Like I said, subscribe if you want more videos just like this. And I love you, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. See you guys later. Bye.